What's up, Fortress Dwellers? It's Manny Brandon with Manny's Fitness Fortress, the citadel of power. Guys, thank you for joining me today. We got a very bizarre story today that you're not going to want to miss. Could you imagine giving birth to a child, but you need no human woman? Let's get into it. All that coming up right now. What's up, guys? It's Manny Brandon back with Manny's Fitness Fortress. Thank you all for joining me again. Those of you who are new, we do fitness, nutrition, wellness, mental wellness, and some superhero movie and content coverage. But listen up. This is the health and wellness space. This is the most bizarre thing that I've heard this year, and quite frankly, in several years. We all know there's a line between scientific discovery, technology, and stuff that's just taboo and very, what's the word I'm looking for? Sacrilegious. Scientists have come up with a way to create a gestation with human babies. Oh my goodness, it blew my mind when I read this. They have found a way to bring a baby to term, full term, through pregnancy. They've developed pregnancy robots or pregnancy female humanoids, to bring a fetus to term all the way until birth without a human woman. Let's get into it. Get out of here. Don't you ever come back. Sorry, that was my evil twin. Now we're gonna get going. But for real, guys, listen. What do you guys think of this? An android female robot giving birth to a child from inception to term for female human mothers. There's a lot of examples that they give in here. Well, people are fighting for it, people are fighting against it, but to me it's unethical, it's horrible, it's inhumane, and it takes me back to the movie The Matrix, when they had all these incubation chambers growing in these human beings. It's something out of science fiction movie, but they say really there's no such thing as science fiction anymore. All right, but let's get into this. China develops first ever pregnancy robot. Could it replace human surrogates? Now, surrogates is kind of strange to me. It's still got to feel remotely weird with a mother wanting to have a baby and choosing another vessel to do that. There's no female or mother attachment to the child because it's growing in someone else. I don't know. You ladies tell me what you think. But anyway, here we go. China is developing the world's first pregnancy robot designed to carry a baby from conception to birth using an artificial womb. Critics called the technology unnatural, raising concerns about ethics, maternal connection, and long-term health risks. That's what I was talking about. There's got to be a maternal connection that's going to be missing, because women have that bond with their babies. You know, they feel the baby kicking. They even say women that sing and read to their child while they're impregnated, the child usually comes out smarter. Just like a child who is fed breast milk from its own mother has not only a biological, a health connection, but also they say not only immunity is boosted, but there's a maternal connection with those type of interactions. But let's see, we're gonna keep on reading. Supporters see potential benefits for infertile couples and say it could reduce the physical toll of pregnancy. Now, to me, someone that is incapable of carrying a healthy pregnancy to term, I could say maybe, but there's a lot of women, and you're gonna find out later in the article, that talk about they just wanna do it because they don't wanna mess up their body, they don't want scar tissue, they don't want stretch marks. The whole menstruation period and pain during pregnancy, childbirth, it all came about, after Eve's fall. That was part of the deal. After Eve sinned, it says right in the Bible, you will experience pain in childbirth, all that stuff. But I'm saying there could be some instances where this is necessary if a woman really wants to have a child and she has a lot of medical complications. But let's keep reading. China is developing a world-first pregnancy robot capable of carrying a baby to term and giving birth, an innovation that could reshape reproductive health, infertility treatment, and ethical debates around motherhood. Damn right. a step beyond incubation. The pregnancy humanoid, that's what they're calling it, is being developed by Kaiwa Technology, led by Dr. Zhang Quifeng, who is also affiliated with Nanyang Technological University. His vision for a robotic surrogate capable of full-term pregnancy was unveiled at the 2025 World Robot Conference in Beijing, according to reporting from ECNS. Unlike traditional incubators, this robot is designed to replicate the entire process of pregnancy from conception to childbirth. If you guys are taking a look at some of the pictures that I have in the video, this is not like some cyborg like Terminator from the future. It looks like a woman with a metal and composite body. So they're really going all out. It's crazy. All right, the key features of the prototype include an artificial womb implanted in the humanoid's abdomen. They keep calling it humanoid. A nutrient delivery system connected through a hose. That's what I was worrying about or thinking about. How would the baby be nourished and fed? Amniotic fluid, water, hydration. I was worried, so apparently they've got a system for that. A lifelike interface that allows interaction with the pregnant robot. Okay, see, sound like you're trying to mimic that as well. I don't see how that could come close to a human interaction though. A prototype is expected as early as next year with a target price of 100,000 yen, about 14,000 USD. Artificial womb technology is already in a mature stage, Dr. Zhang told Chinese media. Now it needs to be implanted in the robot's abdomen so that a real person and the robot can interact to achieve pregnancy. I'm going to repeat that. Make sure you guys catch this. Now it needs to be implanted in the robot's abdomen, the impregnation technology. It needs to be implanted in the robot's abdomen so that a real person and the robot can interact to achieve pregnancy. So they're not talking about putting sperm or eggs in there. They're talking about interacting with a damn robot in a sexual manner, having intercourse with a robot. That's the way this reads. Surrogacy, workaround. Surrogacy is prohibited in China, but Zhang believes robotic pregnancy could offer a legal alternative. The idea of using a machine to bypass laws banning traditional surrogacy has added another layer to the ongoing debate. I know Chinese are supposed to have like a big population problem on their back end. They don't have enough women, something like that. Pregnancy is an extremely complex process, which each step being extremely delicate and critical, said Yi Fuxian, an obstetrician at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. When speaking with Newsweek, Yi warned that the robot might be more spectacle than science. That's what I'm thinking. He called the robot likely just a gimmick, adding that even if it could bring a child to term, it comes with many health and ethical risks. That's what I'm saying. What are you going to have a ton of theologians, chiming in, church, religious people and authorities, and there's nothing in the Bible that supports this. I'll leave it at that. Ethical and legal questions still unanswered. Kaiwa Technology says it has begun working with government authorities in Guangdong province to address legal and ethical considerations. But questions remain about how fertilization would occur, where donor eggs would be sourced, who holds responsibility for the gestation process. No official guidelines or policies have been publicly shared. Divided opinions across social media. News of the robot's development has sparked heated debate on Chinese social media, with reactions ranging from enthusiasm to outrage. That's crazy. I would think the entire Chinese government or population, media would be outraged, but they're split. Critics raise concerns about the ethical implications of detaching fetal development from a human mother. Exactly. There is a bond that you cannot replace. It cannot be duplicated, cannot be replicated. I don't care what anybody says. The absence of maternal bonding. Of course, the commodification of reproduction. Supporters, however, highlighted relief from physical strain for women. Okay, I don't know. Some people consider this a cop out. They don't want to go through pain with childbirth anymore, and they don't want to, go through the whole process, mess up their bodies. 9 months to 2 years of getting their body back, which all it needs is exercise. So I digress. Hope for infertile couples, broader access to parenthood. Now, 90% of couples or human beings that are infertile, some of it is from genetic, causes, but most of it is from previous life choices, from ages 14 into your early 30s. Bad nutrition, bad environments, bad choices, unhealthy decisions that adversely affect your health. Semen, fertilization, eggs, ovaries, what you're eating, what you're exposing yourself to, that is 95% the culprit for having damaged, eggs or semen. Just like, it's kind of related, not off topic so much, but men who have erectile dysfunction. A lot of men, have intercourse with their wives and, can't get pregnant. They have not to be vulgar, but they have a half woody. It's not solidified. They can't attain a full erection. And a lot of men with erectile dysfunction are overweight, fat, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and can't produce a lot of semen. So there's other stuff with that, but bad choices in life that lead up to terrible health are a lot of times what causes this. All right, one commenter wrote, many families pay significant expenses for artificial insemination only to fail. So the development of the pregnancy robot contributes to society. The science isn't entirely new. Researchers have already made progress in artificial womb technology. In 2017, a team in Philadelphia previously developed a bio bag, a device that acts like an incubator, allowing premature lambs to grow in an environment similar to the womb. So they're always doing this. They're always messing with God's creatures. So they use a lamb, using rats, lambs, and all kinds of animals for their experiments. There's a special place in, where for people like this. The bio bag provided oxygen, nutrients, and amniotic fluid. After 28 days, the lambs had put on weight and even grown wool. While BioBag supports developed during the later stages, the pregnancy robot aims to take that concept further, supporting fetal growth from conception to full-term delivery. Cultural and historical concerns. Artificial wombs have been a source of controversy since the 1970s. Feminist activists like Andrea Dworkin have raised concerns about removing reproduction from women's bodies and what that could mean for gender equality. So it sounds like she's for it. This is crazy. More recently, researchers at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia noted that such technology could have broader social impacts. Yeah, negative ones. And that's the thing. Social media has a lot of great content to offer. Health and wellness, nutrition, good healthy lifestyles, but there's a lot of crap on there that is demonic and is very negative. Has blown up people's inflated egos and self-worth, and got people communicating digitally, not in person anymore. So it's a lot of negative connotations from social media. A concern is that it could lead to the devaluation or even pathologizing of pregnancy and may diminish women's experience of deriving meaning, empowerment, and self-fulfillment from this unique aspect of female biology. Why China is leading this innovation. China is facing a rising infertility crisis. That's crazy. With rates climbing from 11.9 in 2007 to 18% in 2020. Now they're saying China, listen to how this is worded, China is facing a rising infertility crisis. It didn't say women. So, infertility can technically decrease if you don't have enough women getting pregnant. Because that's a big thing in China. They have their copulation limited. I think you're only allowed to have one child, something like that. So otherwise, I can't see how they could have an infertility crisis. They're pretty healthy people, but I digress. In some response, some legal governments have expanded insurance coverage for fertility treatments like IVF and artificial insemination. Developing a robot surrogate may be a part of a broader national efforts to combat low birth rates and make reproduction more accessible. I think this is going to be another way to bring in a soulless shell of a human being. Because at one point, they're trying to force you, like years ago, to get the poke. And they've proven now, all these people, Mr. Gates and all of them guys lied. People have gotten blood clots. People have gotten exacerbated conditions from pre-existing conditions because of the doses and the injections, all that stuff. So this creature, and that's what it is. It's not going to be human. It's going to be fed through a feeding tube by some robot. Who knows what chemicals they're putting in that nutrition, in that sustenance. So in my opinion, this is not going to be human. This is very sacrilegious, very unethical. And this is the direction that our world is going in. And as much as people say, you got people out there that are saying that they don't believe this or that, what's written in scripture. Everything that's in that last book is coming true. Everything. But let me know your comments, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Comment down below. Please, whether you are religious, don't believe in God, whatever you are a technological goof, if you are a geek, if you are pro-technology, if you're against it, whatever, let me know. I had to cover this because this is about health and wellness. This is a big thing. I appreciate you guys for spending time watching my video. Like, subscribe, share. Always, we drop comments and we drop shares, so do that. Get the information and the conversation out there. And also, this video is about health, wellness, mental health, and all kinds of other wellness on women and men's biology and fitness, whatever. But I'm rambling on at this point. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. See you.